It wasn't pretty last night, but Kansas City Chiefs hung tough, beat the Chargers in overtime, taking a commanding lead in the AFC West. You know, the Chiefs' formula is simple. Now, they have played good defense, at times great defense, but it comes down to Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Tyreek Hill. Chargers defense knew what it was going to come down to and still couldn't stop them. Kelce was great, nearly 200 receiving yards, game-winning touchdown in overtime. Hill had 148 and a tough touchdown catch. Mahomes, he deserves credit, had a couple of mistakes, but made some big plays. And normally, he'll make these big plays on plays where you go, how did he do it? And then the simple plays, you'll go, how did he not do it? But for the most part, you thought the Chargers were going to be in control. And maybe you thought there's a changing of the guard. Maybe the Chargers are going to be the team to beat in the division. They left a lot of points on the field, going for it on fourth down repeatedly, and they failed many times, too many times. Meanwhile, the Chiefs, they showed their resiliency and proved once again, when you have Mahomes, Kelce, and Hill, you're going to be in any game. As far as the fourth down calls, here's Brandon Staley. He's the head coach of the Chargers.
You know, I felt really comfortable with all of those decisions. And, the first one, it's a perfect pass. And just you have this really, tragic thing happen, on the way down. And, the one at the end of the half, I love that. And then it just, we just missed Jared on the stick, and that's the way we're going to play around here. That's the way we're going to play. And, when we have a quarterback like ours and we have an offense like ours, that's the way we're going to play, because that's how you need to play against Kansas City for sure. And that's how we're going to become the team that we're ultimately capable of being, is by playing that way.
It's quite a weapon when you're already in the other team's head, where they know there's a certain number of points that the Chargers probably said, we can't kick field goals. Now, you score 28. You would think against Kansas City's defense that would be enough, because that's a lot of points this year against that Kansas City defense. In your mind, you're going, we got to score touchdowns, not field goals, because Mahomes, Kelce, and Hill. I don't know what the analytics say, because do the analytics factor in Mahomes, Kelce, and Hill, or do they just say, 4th and 2 at this place on the field in this situation, you got to go for it? Well, if I factor in the analytics and you say I got Mahomes, Kelce, and Hill, 4th and 2, that's different than, say, the Chicago Bears going for it on 4th. Sorry, Paulie. It was too easy. So that's why analytics kind of drive me crazy a little bit here. Because if you say Brady and Gronk or Zach Wilson and who's ever the tight end of the Jets. So the analytics are going to tell you something. And I know the Chargers do this. I like it. Makes for great TV. But also, when they went for it at the end of the first half, now there's a couple things that happen. When you go for it, 4th and 1, 4th and 2, and it's at the end of the first half, well, you don't get the benefit of, if we don't make it, they start at the 1 or 2 yard line, because the half's going to end. So that's where you kick a field goal. You got to come away with points. And I thought that was a really glaring mistake, because at the time I said, well, it doesn't matter. Kansas City gets it there at the 2. So what? Half's going to end. You're not going to get the ball back. Kick the field goal on 4th down. And it felt like you were moving the ball enough. You got a great quarterback, a couple of great wide receivers, and it felt like you were moving the ball. But I think in their minds, certainly Brandon Staley's mind, it's like, we have to get to 35 points or some magical number. And that's what Kansas City does to you. It's like, oh, my God, this is a shootout. We got to keep scoring. You can't kick field goals. Yes, Eden.
It feels like everything you just said, though, are reasons that you go for it on 4th. You have the right players. You have a great offense. You're moving the ball well. Why are we taking the 3 when we can get the 6?
But if you don't get it, then you don't get the benefit of they're backed up and we'll get the ball in great field position again. That was my only knock on the 4th. Going for it on 4th was the one time at the end of the first half. The other times, I'm fine with it. I would love to play for a coach who believes in the offense. And you're saying you believe in the defense too. But that one time, you got to come away with points. The other times, that's his philosophy, and I respect that. Plus, it's great TV. Yes,
Yeah, I really like that soundbite from Brandon Staley. that like he's a guy who has a vision and has a plan and has absolute belief in where him and his team are going. As a player, I would be like, hell yeah.
And Doug Peterson did this a couple of years ago with the Eagles and won a Super Bowl. And I don't know if he was factoring analytics or just factoring in the talent that he had, or that's just his philosophy. Here's Justin Herbert, the Chargers QB, on not converting fourth downs.
It's always tough, and you'd love to be able to convert those. And I think we need to be better on third down so we're not in those situations. But we believe in each other. We believe in the guys in that locker room, in that huddle, and we believe in the defense. And so I think that's a statement of trusting everyone on the field and off the field as well. And, we'd love to be put in those situations. And unfortunately, we didn't convert as many as we would have liked to have today. But, we're going to ride with each other, and we're going to be right back.
And I love that. And that's what I want to hear. And I love that. That's the coaching philosophy. It's just the fourth and goal at the end of the first half. You got to get points, and that's where I would have kicked the field goal. This program brought to you by Impeller. Empower your investment portfolio with opportunities in Puerto Rico. Impeller, a new online tool that connects investors with innovative projects on the island, available now. Impeller is your hub for investment opportunities in Puerto Rico. Learn more at investpr.org/impeller. Get the phone calls coming up. By the way, I do believe that there have been 2 overtime games in the history of SoFi Stadium, and both have been between the Chiefs and the Chargers. Chiefs have won both.
Stat of the day, stat of the day,
What?
stat of the day, stat of the day. Here comes that
What?
Stat of the day.